Let's see. Wow. She was shocked when I showed her that. Hey, I have a quick question. Aren't we just too comfortable with this little bit of sunshine caressing our skin, this coffee to wake us up, and this beautiful view to enjoy the start of the day? Honestly, if we're not feeling good right now, then I'll just stop traveling, right? Konnichiwa, my friends. I hope you're all doing well. New day, new adventure, new vlog, second to last or maybe the last episode of this season between Japan and South Korea. There's gonna be a bit of emotion as I talk to you today. Well, yeah, it's the end. And like I always say, every end of an adventure, that's just how it goes. This will mark the start of something new. Still, we've had some great experiences here. Great things are happening between these two countries. I'm back in Japan for these last few days, as I mentioned in the previous episode. Let me briefly introduce myself for those who don't know me. I'm Ben Enko. I've spent over 10 years on this planet and have made travel content on this YouTube channel for 7 or 8 years. Join me on daily explorations to discover the world. And then of course the people who inhabit our beautiful planet, all these different cultures. And also my goal in making these videos is to inspire you, why not, to want to travel yourself. And also to show you that just because we've heard people say that a certain country is like this or like that, it doesn't mean it's necessarily true. So I also like to show that we shouldn't just stop at stereotypes and cliches. We've heard things, but we come to discover for ourselves the world. So if you happen to come across this video as your first video, two things. Know that this isn't the first video in Japan, and it's not the first video on my YouTube channel. There have been quite a few, and I invite you to check them all out in the playlist section of my YouTube channel. We've had many adventures traveling together through countries like Algeria, Tunisia, Latin America, Brazil, and Argentina, to name a few. Recently, Japan and South Korea. If you enjoy the content and want to support me, please subscribe if you haven't yet. Thank you so much. And also, like this video, make me happy, show that you're here, that there's some interaction, leave a little comment like, "Hi Ben, it's nice to see you." Last episode, we're excited to see you somewhere new, but where? Feel free to share this with anyone who might want to visit the countries I'm traveling to. So, for the rundown, it's going to be quick. Like I explained, I mentioned it briefly yesterday. Actually, I've been staying these past few days with a nice Japanese woman named Saika through couch surfing. Why did I decide to do this? It's simply because I didn't want to spend my last days in Tokyo. That's it. I wanted to go to a small town a bit far from a big city. I've already visited Tokyo. I've more or less seen the main attractions, and I just wanted that, actually. To be in a small remote town where there are no tourists, to finish the adventure with Japanese people. And right now, I'm with Saika, who speaks English very well, and it's super convenient, and she's very kind. She's letting me stay in her living room. She set up a little futon for me. I'm really comfortable in her living room and everything. And it's cool because, well, thanks to her, I'm learning a bit more about Japanese culture, so I couldn't have hoped for a better place to finish this adventure. Today we're going to Kamakura with Saika. Right now she's at the apartment. I took the opportunity to grab a coffee and relax. Enjoying the view, doing my little intro. And today, yeah, we should be going to Kamakura. It's about an hour away by car from here. Of course, by public transport, it's always a bit longer. But by car, it's not very far. Yeah, I don't know if I told you. Being here, we're about an hour and a half away from Tokyo by public transport. I think it's about 80 kilometers, something like that. Alright, here they are. I'm having a good time, relaxing with my coffee. Then we'll meet Saika and head to Kamakura. So you see, isn't this place fantastic for ending our adventure in Japan? There are some nice walks to take, like this, along the sea. Actually, that's what we did on the first day I arrived. With Saika, she took me to a bakery that's about a 20-minute walk from here. And, well, we walked like that, along the sea. It's fantastic. She has the beach right there, 5 minutes away, you know. It's incredible to live in an environment like this. And on top of that, it's really not far from Tokyo actually, since there's a subway station next to her place. She can take the train to Tokyo in just an hour or hour and a half, and it's a total change of scenery. I couldn't have wished for a better place to end this adventure. Honestly, I keep repeating myself, but it's the truth. So now we're going to meet up with our friend. And then let's go to Kamakura. It's so nice. It's peaceful, actually. It's super chill. So, I've arrived in Kamakura. Let me introduce Saika, with whom I'm spending my last days here in Japan. So, I'm explaining that I'm finishing my road trip in Japan at your place because it's so nice, so chill. There you go. Finishing my road trip in Japan in your place because it's so nice, so chill. As I was telling you, she lives in a place that's really pleasant. And it's great to be in her company because I'm learning a bit more about Japanese culture. So, we've just arrived in Kamakura. We're going to visit Kotoku and that's it. So, it's a temple with a big Buddha, a giant Buddha. But before that, we're going to eat. We're going to get something to eat because we're hungry since it's already 2:34 p.m. Actually, we came by public transport because it was easier. She told me, we're not going to take the car. Yeah, because otherwise it might be a bit of a hassle and all that to find a parking spot. I used Kevin's famous technique and I want to thank him again for his tip on paying for transit. It was super easy with my phone and everything, so there you go. Right now, we're in a small local restaurant and we're going to eat a traditional and authentic Japanese dish that I haven't tried yet, called Shirasu. Thank you very much. How to eat. Thank you very much. What? What did she say? She said exactly what? Okay, yeah. She actually told us a little story, and the gentleman is really nice. He brought me this. So today, I have Saika with me. So since she speaks English really well, I don't need to. It's written how to eat the dish we're going to try. How to eat, wow, it's cool. They actually explain everything. I'm going to read this at my own pace. So what is the name of the dish? I forgot again. Shirasu. Shirasu. So it's rice and fish and okay. All right. What is this then? Let's go in to try. Thank you very much. Here you go. The dish has just arrived. We both have our dish, of course, served with miso soup sauce. Here's your little miso soup, as always. We have another dish with rice, fish, probably a little egg on top, but you have to read the little guide. Anyway, I'm going to follow Saika, who will explain everything to me. She's my guide for the day. There you go. I'm so happy to be with her. I'm very happy to be with you for these last days. So, this beautiful tray here, which consists of a soup, our main dish, and so on, costs 1,500 yen, which is about 9.40 euros. And here we are, sitting, relaxed, in a beautiful little authentic and traditional Japanese restaurant. Itadakimasu, and you eat, and maybe halfway through you want to put your egg in, okay? So it's like change of flavor, okay? Yes. So you first put the sauce, then you eat, then you put the eggs. Yes. Okay, well, let's do that. I'm so lucky to have this guy today as a guide who explains how to do it, even though it's written on the little paper that the gentleman gave us. So we have our little sauce with wasabi that we stir. There you go. Done. And then we're going to sprinkle this gently over our dish. Like this. Wow. Oh. I'm so happy to eat this. Because when I was with Kevin yesterday, I noticed it, but I told myself I'll save it for tomorrow. That's it. So here we have konjac with what seems to be mustard, salmon, and cheese. Here you go. We also have some condiments. And then we have our egg that we'll place on our dish, but first we need to start tasting. There you go. Make little holes in our dish. And then, well, we can place our egg. Okay, so let's try it. Do you like it? Where did you get this from? So you start with the spoon. Yes. Okay. What kind of fish is it?
Is it white baked? I think it's baby sardines.
You can see the baby sardine's tiny eyes. Wow. It's very good. It's very tasty. I can feel also the power of the wasabi.
It's not wasabi, actually. It's...
Not wasabi, just...
The pepper.
It's pepper, yes. It's not wasabi, it's pepper.
This is the raw version of this fish.
Okay.
And this is not cooked, so this is steamed.
Oh, this is raw, so I don't have it, no.
You put it. I order it on the side.
Okay, so this one is cooked.
It's not good. This is raw. This is cool.
This is cool. So here, actually, we have the raw version of what we're eating. Here you go. We can put it on top, too. She purposely ordered it so I could try it. And here we have the cooked version in our bowl, so I put yeah. This or I try like this, dear.
All right.
I'll try to do it like that. Very good. Very nice. Very, very nice. I love to try always different food, as you know. What is your favorite Japanese dish? Do you have something that you really, really like? Sushi. Sushi. What kind of sushi? Tuna maguro. I like mackerel. Maybe white fish? White fish. I explained it to her. Well, she already knows because she has traveled a lot. She lived in the United States. That's why she speaks English really, really well. And actually, I explained to her that in France, when we eat sushi or maki, we have versions that don't exist in Japan with avocado, cheese, and all that. That's what we call California rolls. So, as I explained what we were talking about yesterday, about the California roll, that it doesn't exist here in Japan. That's right, it doesn't exist here in Japan. Yeah, here, it's very simple. It's rice with a sheet of nori and fish inside. Or if it's sushi, the fish is on top. But there aren't versions like that. I even showed him pictures of things that only exist in certain countries in the world, like in France. We even make desserts, like Nutella banana makis. She was shocked when I showed her that. Nutella and banana. She had never seen that in her life. Yeah, sometimes we do some pretty weird stuff, but it's not bad, you know. That's how we sometimes create fusion dishes. Our dish is great, and I have no regrets. That's really amazing. And also, it's so healthy. It's fish and rice. Like I said, that's what I really like. It's that it's really healthy. We have rice, we have fish, and we have a little soup. We really have what we need to get a little energy before starting our day. I have to put my egg in, then I mix. Don't mix too much. Don't mix too much. Just break the yolk. Okay, so we're going to add our egg. And there we go. So just a little bit. Yeah, just try to just break the yolk. Okay. There we go. So here I broke the yolk, and then I'm going to try to see how she does it. Okay, don't mix the rice, fish, and egg all together. Okay. No, just a little bit like this on the side, then I take it. Yeah. Got it. You shouldn't mix everything and make it mushy. You just have to put your egg yolk like this on the side. You break it, and then you take a little bit of egg yolk to mix everything together in your mouth. There you go. So that's what we're going to do. Here we go. Some egg yolk is really good. I really like the taste with the egg. It's protein, you know. You can have this. Yeah, I really like the taste of the egg. You can have this, yes. You can put it inside. Also, thanks to her, I'm not only learning a lot of things, but I also learned how to say, I am French. Yeah, very geek. That means now, when people ask me, I don't have to repeat France, Paris, 25 times, no. I just say, Watashi wa furetsu jindesu, ha jindesu. There you go. And she's the one who taught me that. That's what's here, that's what's on the screen. Honestly, it's super good. So konjac, on the other hand, to be honest, I've never really been a big fan. Very, very bland. Very, very bland. Not really a big fan, yes, because I find konjac a bit bland, actually. Not bad. I've always found it bland. Let's try it. That's a lot of mustard. Ha! I've been to Tunisia, don't worry. Ha! Ha! It's a bit gelatinous. It's not my... It's not bad. But it's not my, my favorite type of food. I said it's not too bad, but konjac was always not my favorite kind of food. The texture. Yeah, the texture, exactly. The texture, yes. Exactly, that's what I mean. The texture is a bit bland. But on the other hand, it seems that it's very good for your figure, It's very low in calories. She said I was 3 minutes late. I said not to worry, I went to Tunisia. Ha! It's time for a little post-meal walk. We ate well. So, we're not in downtown Kamakura, right? We're in Kamakura, but not in the city center. We're about 3 stations away. We're actually, in fact, in the Haas area of Kamakura. And now, we're heading towards the temple with the big Buddha, still with our friend Saika, who is here. I'm really happy to be here because actually I had put Kamakura on my list of small towns to visit around Tokyo, since we're really not far from Tokyo, as I explained to you in the introduction. And I didn't know if I was going to do it and so on because, well, you know me. I'm someone who improvises his adventures. I really live day by day. I didn't really know what I was going to do when I got back to Tokyo. And in the end, well, you see, I didn't come back to Tokyo. Since I'm in the small town of Miyakuhagan Mimiyu, Miurakai Miurakaigan. There you go, she says it much better than I do, Miurakaigan. And so here we have the advantage of not being very, very far from Kamakura. A little less than an hour by public transport. And it's really nice because the weather is good and it's much less cold than in Korea. And I can tell you that it really makes all the difference not having to wear gloves, not having to wear hats anymore. It's just so nice. Look, we keep ending up in the same places, huh? Barack Obama and me. I was in Senegal. He was in the same hotel as me. He had come to visit. And then he also came to Kamakura when he was president in 2010, so that was already 14 years ago. Barack, you have to stop following me, right? Actually, I say that, but he came before me. I'm the one following him. And now we're going to enter the gates of the full temple. Thank you. So, to get in here, it costs 300 yen, which is about 2 euros roughly. And look, I'll show you what we have right in front of us now. Are you ready? Here it is, the big Buddha of Kamakura. It's huge, but I'm not sure how tall it is. I didn't bring my measuring tape, but it's impressive. I imagine it's beautiful here in the fall with the lovely autumn colors we saw over there, since we arrived almost at the end of autumn. Well, actually, no, we arrived in winter, but we still had some autumn colors at the very beginning of this adventure, and we could really see, well, the trees that were colorful. It was fantastic, Watch the first episodes if you missed them. I imagine that here in spring as well, it must be really fantastic with the cherry trees and so on. The sakura, as they're called, the cherry trees. I imagine it's fantastic. I imagine. Here, it must be fantastic. So now, we've just arrived at another temple called Kamakura Akadara Temple, which is located about not even a 10-minute walk from the big Buddha where we were just a few moments ago. The entrance costs 400 yen, which is about 2 euros 50, but it's just fantastic. We're in a setting like this, right in the middle of nature. It really feels like a typical little Japanese garden, and it's just so pleasant. You hear that? It's fantastic. Yes. It's the sound of silence and the stream. That's what I love about temples and shrines. It's because they're places of worship, right? You don't come here to make noise. But what I love is this natural side of Japan. They're always, located in natural environments, and it's above all, this Zen vibe that comes from this place. Well, so first of all, not only is the temple beautiful as you can see, but if I turn around like this, there's a nice little spot where you can come and relax, you see, and there are drink machines and so on. It's Japan. You're starting to get used to it, right? If you've been following my episodes here in Japan, all these machines, all these drink dispensers. But if we turn around like this, well, look, we have a beautiful view of the sea. That's right. Because we've gained a little bit of elevation. It's really nice. Well, you know the saying now, always finish with a little sweet note at the end of a meal, but here it's not really the end of a meal, it's more like a snack. Basically, earlier when we arrived and left the station, I spotted a little stand that was making traditional Japanese pancakes. They're called dorayaki. So, I asked Saika if we could quickly go back because I just wanted to try them. Well, yeah, it's the last few days, so even if it wasn't, I would have given in to little pleasures like this anyway. So here I have the most traditional one. I'm not sure if it's this one, I took two. So the most traditional one is the one with red bean. You know, red beans now, the famous red beans. And I took another one, it was nuts and caramel, I think, walnut and caramel. So this one cost 260 yen, and the other one I took cost 350 yen. So, it's a little more expensive, the one with walnut and caramel. Well, let's try this out calmly. Fortunately, I have my guide for the day who helps me with pronunciation. She told me it's not dorayaki, it's dorayaki. For those of you who would say, well, you're eating all by yourself and everything, blah, blah, blah. I offered her some, she didn't want any. Too bad for her. No, she told me she doesn't eat sweet things, it's just not her thing. There you go. I have the red bean one here. Very good. But there's something I really like getting pretty often. It's in the convenience stores. When I get them, I go for the ones with red bean and cream. They're so good. The mix of cream, you know, and cream damn. Sorry, I keep switching between English, French, and so on. I remixed cream and creme into de creme. So the mix of cream and red bean, I think it's really delicious. They're really soft and everything. You like it? Very nice. But my favorite one is cream and red bean.
But that's not authentic.
That's not authentic? Yeah, well, it's not authentic, that's true, but it's good. Actually, I noticed that around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that, I don't know if you can hear it. So, there's always a little chime like, school's over, yay? But it's actually to indicate something, so I asked Saika, but what is this little tune actually? Because I've heard it often, pretty much everywhere I've been here in Japan. She told me, well, when it's 4 o'clock, there's a little tune. Thank you very much, there you go. So yeah, actually we need to try the second one now. There are some really big good nuts inside, you know? Big nuts. I thought it would be more caramelized than this. No, but it's fine. It's kind of like a caramel cream, sort of. It's not bad. But it's still my favorite. The one with red bean and cream, even if it's not the most authentic. We just arrived in the heart of Kamakura, not far from Kamakura Station. I'm still with our friend Saika, of course. And actually, we walked for about 20 minutes, more or less, from where we were earlier. Hase. So now we're discovering the heart of Kamakura City. Its little alleys, its small shops. I love it. I really love little alleys like this with cobblestones where you have small traditional restaurants. This street...
It has always been here, but most of the shops have changed since I was a kid.
Okay, yeah, it's quite sad.
It's only that there are just a few stores that have always been here since then, but it changed. Like, you mean, do you miss the other shops? It was different, like it was better, it was very local.
Okay, I feel like it's more touristy. It's more touristy. Okay, it was different, it was better, it was very local. Right now I feel like it's more touristy. It's more touristy, okay? So she explained to me that when she was younger, she used to come here, since she's from the area, obviously. And actually, most of the stores have changed. She explained to me that the stores back then were much more local. Today, it's much more touristy. There you go. Can I go inside here? Yeah, of course, of course. There, that's a sushi shop. So here, if you don't go to a restaurant, sometimes you can go to supermarkets. I'm not talking about convenience stores, okay? I'm really talking about small supermarkets. Or in places like that, kind of like fish shops. And you can buy sushi, sashimi, and so on, really fresh fish, but for almost nothing. You can even eat there. Look, this is what we had to eat for lunch today. Here you go, if you want to make the recipe at home. A bit of rice, a little bit of fish. And the advantage here in Japan is that you can taste everything, right? So you take a little spoon and you try it. If you like it, you take it. If you don't like it, you don't take it. Makes sense. Here we have lots and lots of different things. What's that? Are those nuts? Yes. Nuts in sauce. And I have the feeling we're about to wander through a little shopping street in the center of Kamakura. Sounds good? It's really nice, right? And well, it's a bit like the image of Japan we've explored together. You see, there's food everywhere you look. Food, street food, and so on, restaurants. You can really treat your taste buds here. That's the truth. Because I saw a taste bud across the street. Nice play on words. I don't know how I managed to come up with puns like that when I'm extremely exhausted. Good matcha ice cream. By the way, it was with her that she asked me, have you tried it? I said, yes, I've tried it. I've had some excellent ones. When I was in Takayama and Shirakawa-go. By the way, I really recommend you go watch the previous episodes, you know, in the Japan Adventure playlist. We visited so many beautiful places in Japan. We really had a great time. We feasted with our eyes, we also feasted with our stomachs. A little cafe with dogs. So earlier we passed by a place. Well, I didn't dare to film because the lady didn't really want me to, you know, film. Actually, it wasn't a cafe, it was just a place where you could go in and pet little pigs. She had, you know, little pigs in a kind of shop. I had never seen that anywhere else. I've already seen cafes with cats, cafes with dogs. You can come have a coffee and pet cats, dogs, and so on. I've even seen that with rabbits. But with pigs, I've never seen that, except that this wasn't actually a cafe. You just went in to pet little pigs. Look, the rabbit. Rabbit cake. Little rabbit cake. And yes, it reminds me of Rabbit Island that we visited together. And then there, the little tastings and everything. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. If it's offered so kindly. I don't know what this is. It looks like some kind of candied fruit. Yeah, kind of like fruit jelly. Like orange or clementine. The shopping street is really, really nice, right? I don't know what you think about it. Let me know in the comments, don't hesitate. That's what comments are for. When you like a place, a video, if you have a little remark, a suggestion. Sometimes I also happen to say something silly. You know, I don't know everything. I'm discovering things as I go at the same time as you. Well, today I'm lucky to have a local guide, but sometimes I might mix up certain foods, or, you know, I just don't know. But in any case, don't hesitate to let yourself go in the comments, you know. I'm really saying it, that's what it's for. Otherwise, a YouTube comment section is pointless. If it's just not to use it, it's the same. There's no reason to have a like tab if you won't use it. Go for it. To end this day of exploration in Kamakura, we've just arrived at a new place. Plus, it's nightfall now. So, we have the illuminations on the temple of... I already forgot the name because I don't have the right pronunciation. What is the name of the temple, please? Tsurugaoka Hachimangu. Tsuruga... Oka Hachimangu. Hachimangu? Hachimangu. Hachimangu. This one isn't easy to pronounce, huh? It's not very easy to pronounce. I prefer to let the professionals do it for me. But anyway, it looks very beautiful, especially at night. It kind of reminds me of Kyoto by night. We have what looks like military planes flying overhead. 4 of them just flew by in a row. But what we want to see, well, it's this. Look. Isn't it beautiful at night? So actually, Saika was explaining to me that this temple is really the symbol of the city. You can't come to Kamakura without coming here. It's not possible. Kamakura is associated with this temple. Back at Mijura Kaigan, in our friend Saika's apartment, here I am, lying on my little futon. Chilling. Ready to finally fall asleep? A bit of rest. It feels good. Anyway, I had an excellent day. I hope you also had a great time with us. That little visit to Kamakura was really cool. Even though, to be honest, I still preferred arriving in Hiroshima. I think it was nicer there, the temple up in the hills, with the different views and so on. But still, that was my preference. But we still had a good time in a very beautiful place in Japan, and that's it. That's really how I wanted to end this adventure. To be with Japanese people. And I couldn't have hoped for a better host than our friend Saika, who is really very nice. And I want to thank him for this day, for his kindness, really for his thoughtfulness. And especially for his patience, right? Because you have to be patient when you're with me. Since I often stop to take little shots and so on, well, yes, that's how I can treat you to all these images. I really stop very often, so you have to be patient when you're with me, plain and simple. And of course, for his hospitality, right? There you go. We're feeling great. So we ended the day in a sushi and sashimi restaurant. She asked me, "What would you like to do for one of your last evenings in Japan?" I said, "Well, even though I feel like I've tried a lot of things, you know, in a month and a half, we've done quite a lot here in Japan. I thought, come on, sushi, last evening, so there you go." It was really cool. I didn't film it because I wanted to enjoy the moment this time. And since I've already shown you sushi, sashimi, and so on a couple of times, I thought it would be a bit repetitive. So there you go. Well, listen, I really want to thank you for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to let me know in the comments. As always, take good care of yourselves. Don't forget to travel, but above all, never forget one thing. When nothing is planned, anything can happen. Thank you. Bye. Okay, good night. Check this out. Japanese technique. Hi. If that's not classy, I don't know what is.